Hey, Martin here from BizGuard. At the Be Connected Ipswich meeting earlier today, I had a lot of people interested in this cloud signatures stuff. So we're talking about email signatures and branding for email signatures. And I just mentioned, hey, we've got a service where we can basically auto apply signatures to your Microsoft 365 or Google emails. It costs a couple of bucks a month per user. And a few ears pricked up, and I had a few people contact me afterwards and say, hey, can you tell me about that signature stuff? Because that sounds really interesting. So thought I'd do a quick demo. So we use a product called Exclaimer. Exclaimer's been around for a very, very long time. They're sort of one of the original 2 or 3 vendors that developed this technology back in the early 2000s. Basically, the way that it works is it ties into your Microsoft 365 or your Google Cloud, and it applies the signature before the email goes out to the internet. So what that means is that you can send yourself an email, and it'll actually loop through the Exclaimer system and apply the signature. So it works on internal emails, external emails, and there's some really cool stuff that you can do with that. So the reasons you might want this system, if it isn't already obvious, is you might have sort of different devices that you use, like a laptop, a desktop, a mobile phone, and you've got inconsistency in signature between those different platforms. This can help bring it all together because you just kind of have a regards, comma, blank, and then this just applies the signature consistently regardless of how you've sent the email. It also means if you've got staff, you don't have to rely on them copying and pasting the signature and doing it properly. It just does it for you, right? There's a lot of cool features in this platform. I don't want to go too deep into it, but I just want to give you a really, really quick rundown on it. Probably the easiest way to show you what this does is to just show you around the signature editor. So this is our signature. And if we edit the design, you can kind of see the structure of this here. So we've got the photo, which gets pulled automatically from the system, or we can actually set a photo per user. So that's just like your profile picture. And display name, job title come dynamically from Microsoft 365 in this case, because we use Microsoft 365. We've got a bunch of extra stuff like meetings link and a few other things that we can dynamically apply, and we can centrally set those so each team member can have different ones. And then if they don't have a meetings link, for example, we just don't display that. So there's a lot of cool stuff we can do. I've just added this one. This has been released in there as part of Exclaimer's pilot program. So the bottom of signatures can now have a feed of LinkedIn posts from your business page. They do support Facebook as well, so it's just a cool little thing. We've got this element here, which is a dynamic banner. So you can see here that we've got a bunch of different images, and it will just randomly select one of those because that's what I've told it to do. You can also see here that we can also change it hourly, daily, etc. There's also a campaigns feature where you can have certain banners and actual entire signatures only run between particular dates and times. So, for example, you can have, if you're doing like a Christmas campaign, you can have an entirely different signature during Christmas. And we can also do a lot of other date and time-based stuff. So, for example, if you're going to have holiday closures, we can have that come into the signature leading up to Christmas from a particular date you specify, and then as of a particular date that you want, we can have that automatically come off the signature, so you don't have to remember to get rid of it. And again, that applies automatically across the organization, so it's really easy to centrally manage stuff. So we can pull a bunch of different fields automatically from your Microsoft or your Google directory, and then they just get applied dynamically. And we can also do some cool stuff with the way the signatures apply themselves. If I just come back here, we can come through here to manage, and there's a bunch of different things that we can do. So we can have different signatures for different senders and groups of senders. We can have exceptions, so it applies to everybody except. We can have actually signatures per recipient. So, for example, if you want to target a signature to a particular person that you're emailing, then we can actually do that here. So one of the interesting things, so we can do that by domain or by email address. So if you've got a particular customer you want to target with a signature, we can do that. We can also integrate with Salesforce or HubSpot as well. So basically grabbing in a customer list, and you can have different signatures for customers, prospects, or depending on which part of your sales cycle they're in, we can have different signatures as well. So it really brings signature branding into your entire kind of sales flow if you're using it for a sales or business development purpose. So you can see here we've got date time options for different signatures, and there's a bunch of advanced rules that we can set as well. So there's a lot of things as well that with all of these options that we can kind of make it do stuff it's not really designed to do. So if you've got like a use case, let me know. I'll let you know if it can be done. The other really, really cool thing is analytics. So you can see which signatures get applied where. You can see engagement, so people clicking in the signature. So you can see not a whole lot of people clicking in my emails in the last 7 days. A few people have clicked on my stuff in my signature. So you can see what they're clicking on and what that's doing. And social feeds, again, this is a new feature. I've only just turned it on, so there's not much here yet. So anyway, that hopefully gives you a little bit of an overview of what the platform can do. In terms of costs, it's $2.40 excluding GST per user per month. So if you buy it from Excalibur directly, you pay the same price, but you have to buy it annually. And I think it's either a 5 or a 10 user minimum, whereas we can do it as low as one user, and we can do it per month billing just straight to the credit card. The only other thing is that there is a setup fee. So typically it takes 2 to 3 hours to set this up. So that's $300 to $450 X, depending on the complexity of what you need to do. If it's a really simple install, usually takes a bit less, or if it's a single signature template. We can give you access into your own signature templates if you want to, but it's kind of janky to learn. So I prefer to do it initially for you, and then you can edit it yourself over time. Time and materials for us to update it, unless you're on one of our IT assurance plans, and then we include minor changes free of charge as part of the monthly fee. So anyway, that gives you a rough idea of the platform, what it can do, why you might want it. Branding, consistency, no mucking around, simplicity, just works. Any questions, let me know.